doing? This is a video about how to pull out from behind a car. So say for instance you've been boxed in, or you've just finished a parallel park and you're coming out, or you've had to give way to somebody in a meeting traffic situation and you've got a car in front of you and you've probably got a little bit too close. Guys, in those situations where you're giving way to oncoming people, if you've got the luxury of space, leave 2 car lengths if you can from the parked car. 1, you don't look like a parked car so everybody will overtake you, and 2, it's easy for you to get out, and 3, you can see down the road. Yeah, so if you've got the luxury of space, don't get too close. However, there are times where you've made a mistake and you've got too close, or there isn't the luxury of space and you have to go into small spaces and then get out. Okay, so one day after parking or parallel parking, or people have boxed you in, you're going to have to do this. Okay, so it's a clutch control thing. Now, if you get too close to the side of the back of the car, okay, so if you get too close to the side of the back of his right side of his car, guys, I'm afraid you're gonna fail. Okay, it's called shaving the car, and the examiner is not going to let you get away with it. So you're literally like almost hitting the back of the car. Now, you're going to be asked to do this on your test because it's called an angle start. So he is literally going to pull you up behind a car and ask to see this. It's part of your test. Okay, you might get a second one when you do your parallel park, so there may be another one that you've got to do, but you are going to get an angle start because it's imperative that you know how to do this, because you could hit the car, right? I hope that my fan isn't affecting this too much. So I'm going to teach you how to pull out from this situation. Now, when you come out from this situation and you're learning this for the first time with your instructor, I call it stepping out, because you lift and dip your clutch multiple times to get out of the situation. Clearly, I'm talking about a manual car here. Okay, now I call it stepping out because your clutch is going to come up to the bite and then you're going to dip the clutch down to cut the engine so you can continue steering on the cut engine, the stopped engine. Not stopped officially, but your engine is not getting to your tyres, and then you lift it up to go again, and then you clutch down again, lift and dip, lift and dip. I call that knead it if you need to, because you know when you make bread, you like press down over and over again when you're kneading the bread, yeah? So knead it if you need to. That's what I say to my students. Knead it if you need to, knead it if you want to, lift and dip the clutch. My students sometimes say feather the clutch, yeah, that will do. What else have I heard? Just, it doesn't really matter, right? But lift and dip is the official term or clutch control. So let me just draw a little picture of it. Okay, so this is you trying to get out. So we're basically like stepping out with lift and dip. So it's like a staircase. You're going round like that to go round. It's like a little staircase, lift and dip, lift and dip. Now, when you're first learning this, obviously you're brand new to this, so the lift and dip, you're really gonna feel it because you're learning it, right? Yeah. So in relation to like the steps, it's gonna be like Duplo bricks for babies. It's like gonna be a big brick, yeah, a big step, yeah, because you're learning it. But the more refined you get, you're gonna go down to the Lego size, and then you're going to go down to the 1 Lego piece, yeah? And then you're going to be like a little legend on it. Because my student said to me yesterday, hence why I'm making this video, she was like, does my boyfriend lift and dip and go around the cars? I was like, absolutely. Like, absolutely. He's driving a Subaru. Yeah. He is definitely going to do that to protect his car. There is no way that he's going to come up to the biting point and just go around the car. He'd crash straight away. Now, yes, he's lifting and dipping, but he's so refined. He's so refined that he knows exactly where the biting point is, and he can play with the biting point millimeters, lift and dip, teeny microscopic little things. But when you're learning it, you're going to be like an elephant, lift and dip, and it's going to come up and down, and the car's going to be like that, and that's fine. Bring it on. We've all got to learn, right? That's fine. Beautiful. Bring it on. It's like learning like a platform game with a little character. You like need to go on the blocks. You're going to go like up and then go on it, and then you're going to turn. You're like, oh, I made it to my block. It's all right. I'm going to go to the next one. Lift. Oh yeah, got it. Turn. And then when you've done that level a million times, you're just going to be like bang, 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 like, and just like, and your mates are going to be like, whoa, how do you do that? And it's like, because you've done it a million times, you know. Now listen. When you're doing an angle start, it is harder if you've got a curb on the other side or a parked car on the other side, okay? So it's exactly what I've got here for you, okay? Now you can see that I'm dealing with a silver parked car on my side of the road, and then I've got black parked car and a green parked car over there, which is going to make this loads harder. If my lift and dip wasn't very good, I would go straight into the black car, most likely, because I would come out with too much speed and I wouldn't stop in time, and I'd go straight into the black car. All over YouTube you can find videos of that. I can't watch them. I don't know how people can watch, like, it's so cringy. Like, I just can't, when people just like lose control and they just smash into the car on the right, and then they reverse back, smash into the car behind, then they go forward and smash into the next one and back smashing. It's like, I can't watch it. I've seen it once. That's enough for me for my entire life. Like, I can't. It makes me, all my nerves go on edge, my teeth go on edge, my nerves go on edge, because I'm like, just dip your clutch. Like, the teacher in me wants to grab the person and teach them. I can't. It makes, no. Can't do it. I have to cover my eyes. It's not on. So I'm doing it deliberately here on purpose so I can explain. Now, obviously I'm a driving instructor and I've been driving for a very long time, and I'm very, 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 very refined on this. And if I was doing it on my own, you wouldn't really be able to feel my lifts and dips, because it would be ultimately extremely smooth and extremely beautiful, as you will do. This will happen to you. I give you my word that if you do it enough, you will be a legend at this. You will be silky smooth. You will be like my student Subaru boyfriend driver, yeah, like with his lift and dip. You won't be able to see any movements of the person who's doing it. You will be immaculate at this. You will be the elite. You will be amazing, but you need to practice it at the right time if you're learning. Don't do it too early, because you don't want to be like that YouTube thing, somebody hang out of the window recording you. Yeah, do it at the right time if you're learning, when you're safe. Learn it without a parked car on the opposite side to begin with. Learn it with an instructor if you can afford that. Yeah, but if you are doing it with a parent, lift and dip in a side road in a straight line. Lift and dip out when you're coming out of a very quiet T-junction. Lift and dip, look far ahead. Practice lift and dip where you can do it on previous subjects. Driving in a straight line, lift and dip. Coming out of a T-junction, turning right at a mini roundabout, lift and dip, yeah? It will obviously be part of your manoeuvres, of course, parallel park, yeah? Bay park, all that stuff, yeah? But when you are doing this and you're refined, it will be very small movements. So because I'm a driving instructor and I know how to do this exceptionally well, I am going to overplay it, and I'm going to explain. I don't know what will come through in the video. I don't know whether you'll be able to see the lifts and dips. I'm kind of hoping that you will, to be honest. But I'm going to come up to the bike and then dip it, lift it and then dip it, lift it and then dip it. Now already, even though I'm a driving instructor, I don't actually know how many dips I need. I don't actually know, okay? Because I can't even guess it. When I do this with my students, I'm like, I don't know how many dips you're going to need. I don't. It's probably going to be ranging from 2 to 7. And that's what I always say. How many times do I need to dip my clutch? I don't know. I'd have to drive it to understand, because it depends on your speed, it depends on whether you've lunged, it depends on your steering technique. So lifting and dipping does not have a number to come out of this. Need it if you need to. Need it if you want to. Lift and dip as many times as it has to be, you know? So I don't know how many lifts and dips I need for this. I could guess it to be 3. To be honest, I think I could make a guess, but I don't want to stick to that. Actually, as an experiment, we could probably let's count them when we do it. Just I don't know. All right. So I'm going to do it. So I'm going to try and set up my camera so that you can see. Oh, I'm gonna have to turn it around. Oh no, I've got to do editing. Okay, right, fine. All right, I'll do that now, and let's have a look at it. Okay, so I'm hoping that this angle is going to be suitable for this. Put on my seatbelt. So I'm going to be stepping out, yeah, just like I said in the picture, like a Duplo set of baby set of like Lego, which is called Duplo. So it's going to be lift and dip, and I'm going to overemphasize it so you can see it hopefully in the movement. And then the more you do this, the more you'll be a legend at it. There is a critical time that you need to put your clutch down, which is kind of like the last point of this, and that is when you know whether you are good at this or not. So lift and dips, people tend to be good at this when they actually pull out, but then the last one that they need to do to turn the steering wheel to the left is normally the one that's missing, and they go towards the black car or the green car far too much. So there is like another one that you need to do. All right. God, that red car was close. He should have stopped for the bike. Anyway, let's move on. Right, so just checking all the way around, checking for pedestrians. Yeah, okay. Sweeping round. Okay, pedestrians safe. Looking round. Everybody's okay. Okay. So, finding the biting point, just a small baby one. The red car's turning. Bear with me a minute. I just need to see what the red car's doing. Sorry, I know you can't see him, but he's just reversing. Okay, just bear with me a sec, guys. Sorry. Oh no, now he's parking. Damn it! I might speed up this part of the thing. Okay, so sweeping round, looking for all pedestrians, looking all the way around, checking to see if it's okay, and checking my blind spot, and then finding a small biting point. Finding a small biting point. I definitely don't want any gas here because I do not want to be going very fast at all because I'm very close to the BMW. I can feel my biting point. It is a baby biting point. Okay, so handbrake down. I won't move much at all when I do this because my bite is so small. I may move very slightly or not at all, which is what I want. So checking my blind spot, handbrake down. Starting to steer as I lift my clutch a little bit, clutch up, steer rapidly. I've got full lock on. I basically moved a handprint then, lifting to the biting point, lifting, 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 dipping, lifting, 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 dipping, lifting, lifting, lifting. This is the most important dip now. That is the important one. And then clutch up to the biting point again. So basically what you're doing is don't stop steering when your clutch is down. That is very common. Sometimes students think that they should only steer when their clutch is coming up. No, when the clutch is down, you steer as well. That is critical. All right, guys, absolutely critical and crucial. Lifting and dipping, lifting and dipping. Okay guys, let's do it again. So I'm just going to do it here. I'm just going to check my blind spot. Just go further forward actually. I'm just going to make this a little bit more difficult. Hopefully you'll be able to see the lifts and dips if I do that. Okay, cool. So I've got the truck on the other side. I'm looking far ahead. You know, the truck is big, right? So I need to be very careful with my lift and dip. I'm going to make sure that I look far down the road. And that last critical dip, I'm going to say it again, guys. People are quite good at using lift and dip to come out, but it's the last, there's something about the last dip that the students find tricky, all right? So I'm gonna try and like identify the last dip, okay? I'm just gonna put emphasis on that. So checking all the way around as I go into first gear. I'm finding a tiny bite. Actually, there's quite a big hill here in my favour downwards. No, I'm not going to lift up to the biting point actually because I've got a rollout. So basically a rollout is when you have a hill that is facing in the direction to your favour so that when you release the handbrake you will roll even though your clutch is fully down. So you can take advantage of the rollout. So, and you can do your first bit of steering on the rollout. You can do this at T T-junctions that are facing down, okay? So basically, if you've stopped on a T-junction, you've given way and then you're facing downhill, you can come off the brake first to roll out, do steering on the roll out, and then when the roll out, the gradient, the hill is finishing, then you come up to the biting point, and you can mix that together in a really beautiful way, and then it's seamless. Nobody will know that you've used the roll out. People don't care if you're using roll out or the clutch to move. Yeah, it doesn't make any difference. It actually doesn't cost as much if you use a rollout anyway. If you live on a hill or a driveway that's down, you're not going to drive out, you're going to roll out. You're going to have the clutch down, you're going to release the brake and roll out to begin with, and then later you're going to lift and dip your clutch. You don't need the clutch if you've got a hill to your advantage. You will go way too fast, you will lose control. So I've got a mini rollout here. It's a teeny one, but it's still to my advantage, so I'm definitely going to use that first. Checking from the left all the way around. My clutch is fully down because I'm using a rollout. Checking to see what this person behind me is doing. Okay, cool, he's parking. Checking my blind spot, my clutch is down. Handbrake down, tiny rollout. It wasn't as big as I thought, but now, yep, clutch coming up to the bite. Okay, so up to the bite, dip down, lift and dip, lifting to the bite and dip down. Lifting to the bite, critical one now, dip down. This is the critical one, keep steering, and then clutch coming back up. That was the critical one at the end. I can't stress it enough, peeps, yeah? That is absolutely the one that you need to do. That last, oh, squirrel, baby. No one was behind me, it's okay, I can save your life. Oh, reminds me of my hamster. Can't. No one was behind me, people. I could save its life. Oh, he was too cute. Okay, guys, so I've just parallel parked myself into the smallest gap that you could ever, like, understand. Oh my goodness, right? Let me just, like, explain, like, how... Check this out. Okay, right. So this is where I am, all right? And I'm going to get out of this. So this is basically one of the hardest angle starts that you can do. All right, so I've got a curb on the other side of the road. This is extremely difficult. Now, I think I'm actually going to go backwards a bit, right? Because I really need some space. So I'm just going to use my beepers and my observation out the back window to collect even more space. I need all that. Okay, and then I'm going to be doing lift and dip and getting out of the situation. So checking all the way around from the left to the right, finding my biting point, allowing the person to overtake. There's a junction quite close to the back of me, so I'm going to choose to signal just in case somebody comes that I don't know about. No one behind me at the moment, so it looks like I'm good to go. Finding the biting point, baby biting point 1, and handbrake down, staying on the biting point, steering very quickly, staying on the biting point, lifting, dipping. Lifting, crucial one now, dipping. Coming up to the biting point and staying on the biting point to complete. Okay, let's just do one more. Okay, this is a slightly easier one because the road is like way larger. So the cars on the other side, even though you can see them, they are actually quite a lot further away. But it's still lift and dip, and that last dip is like proper important, okay? I think I've done like 3 or 4 lift and dips on all of them, right? So, you know, you can count as I say dip because I'm explaining, right? So anyway, I'm going to do it again and I will call out the most critical dip of them all. So I'm checking from the left. The hill is not in my favour this time. So I'm going to find the biting point because I'm actually facing, I would roll backwards if I didn't. So find the biting point, biting point 1. Biting point 1 is when you've got the bite but it doesn't make any shaking, creaking or noises. We never want biting point 2, that's the nasty one. I've made videos about that. Biting point 1 is when you've got it but it does not affect the car adversely. Checking all the way around, so checking absolutely everything, checking. There's a bend behind me. This time I'm going to use a signal because I can't actually see if anybody is around, so I'm just going to use a signal on this occasion and I'm going to release the handbrake. Okay, lifting, dipping, lifting, steering quickly, full lock, lifting, dipping, lifting, dipping, lifting, and then crucial one, dip. That's the crucial one. Oh, that's good. Okay, I'm going to pull up on the left, mirrors, signal, and maneuver. Okay, let's have a look at the feet for a minute. Okay, so close up of the feet on lift and dip. So depending on how close the car is behind you, you may not use any gas at all if the hazard is right in front of you, or minimum gas, yeah, because when you do find the biting point, you don't want to lunge forward. So minimum gas, or sometimes not at all if you're really, really boxed in. Gas should be used when you're pulling away from traffic lights for sure, or pulling out of a roundabout for sure. Otherwise, you're going to have really slow pullaways. But when there's a hazard right in front of you, you may not want to use much gas at all, because you may just crash straight into it. Okay, so my clutch is down, and you would go up to the bite, find biting point like that, little baby bite. Sorry, focus, peeps. Yeah, sorry about the, it's winter, so I've got like crap all over my carpet, but just forgive me. Okay, so finding the biting point, okay, and then you check all the way round. You would release the handbrake, and then you would go lift up to a minuscule bit, and then dip it down, and then lift it up a little bit, and then dip it down. So you're coming up to the bite to make the car go forward, and then dipping it down a little bit. Not all the way down, although that is the Duplo block that I was talking about before. That's fine. It's fine. If you're going up to the bite and then down, and then up to the bite and then down, that is the Duplo block that I was talking about. But when you come up to the bite like that, and then when you get really refined, you're just going to dip it down a smidge, and then coming up to the bite and then dipping it down a smidge. So you will become really, really refined like this in the end. But at the beginning, when you're stepping around the cars, when you're learning this, it will probably be the Duplo block to begin with. But as you get more refined, smaller, working with the biting point, working with it. All right, so lift and dip, lift and dip, lift and dip. All right, guys, I really hope that helps.